Well, welcome to today's video on this Vauxhall Vivaro van. Today I am fitting this ECU. So this is actually from eBay, from a company called ECU Centre. Probably can't quite focus in there. But this is actually second hand and it's a virginised module. So the old one is under this security metal cage that come with these security screws, which are a pain in the arse really. But I couldn't really find a video anywhere on how to do this, so I thought I would make one. So the issues I were having, I'll show you here. Can't really read this on my little board, but it was P1125. It was boost pressure solenoid insufficient flow detected. It kept going in limp mode, which is an absolute nightmare. So it has had a new MAF sensor, and it's also had a brand new solenoid valve, which is actually genuine. Don't buy a cheap one because it would just not help you in a possible situation. Also had a brand new turbo, so it's not going to be that. Checked all the vacuum lines as well to make sure there's no splits or anything like that. So it has come down to the actual ECU faulting. It could fault anywhere between 100 miles and 1 mile. So yeah, so I'll show you what you need to do with this. First off, you need to take this 10mm bolt out of the coolant bottle and then just move that out the way. So I'll show you when to move that, and then I'll show you there's two bolts here. There's one just down the side behind the headlight, and there's also another one which I'll show you down there once I've taken the coolant bottle out. You might be able to just see that down there. All 10mm. And also these, take the solenoid off and take all this stuff off as well. So what you'll need a drill to drill out the security screws, or you can also use a grinder, just 10mm on a ratchet, and also a screwdriver to undo the safety screws. So this just lifts up and slides out the wing, and just move that out the way. Obviously all these valves, they just slide up. Solenoid valve just slides off. So once you've got that out of the way, you just want to drill out the security screw, which is down here. If you've already done that, this just lifts off. So this other security screw is actually from a hole just down here. So you can sort of get a drill in there, but I just cut an angle grinder straight into the top so that I could get the screwdriver in it and undo it. So then after that, you've got that 10mm just at the back here, and also 10mm down there. If you also are having this issue with the solenoid valve, one of the main things to check is there's a blue plug under here that people talk about. Let's get that out of the way. There's actually a blue plug here which does suffer from corrosion and because of ingress of water, so I would actually check that before you go ahead with an ECU as well. So I'll just undo these 10mm and then I'll show you from there. So now these screws are out, you just want to lift up this metal bracket on here. sometimes can be a bit difficult to remove. Also, if you are going to replace the ECU, it could be best to remove this first, just so you can check the numbers on the ECU match to the new one that you're going to fit to the vehicle, so that you know it's going to be correct, otherwise you just waste the time. Also, before I disconnect all these plugs on the ECU, it is good to remember to disconnect the battery. In a Vauxhall Vivaro, if you don't know where the battery is, unfortunately it is under the passenger side footwell, so take your mat up if you got one of them. If not, just lift this out the floor. And then you've also got your battery cover here. I always leave these screws loose because if you ever have any battery issues, it's an absolute nightmare just to unscrew them all because you don't usually have tools. So just lift that out the way, and then you just disconnect the battery so you're safe to remove the ECU. You do have two at the top there, and also 2 at the bottom, T30 screws, just to remove the ECU, so you can just get to them connectors so you can remove it. Right, so to undo these plugs, you just want to press in, there's a little tab here, you want to press that in, open the plug, sometimes get to there, and you just want to, it clicks a little bit more. I'll show you with one hand, there you go, clips a little bit more, just so you can actually release the plug. That's why I was struggling. Right, so I did put all that back together now. Basically it's just in reverse of what I've done. Don't really need to show you that anyway. So put it all back together, then connected up the battery, and now I'll see if it starts. Currently no lights on the dash either, apart from the open door. So I'll obviously probably give it a road test as well to make sure it's all okay. So that's it for this Vauxhall Vivaro van. Pretty sure it's ECU's in the same spot for the 1.9, the 2 litre and the 2.5 I believe. So yeah, I'd obviously look at the other things first, but I've come down to being the ECU as it's spiking internally. But other than that, thank you for watching and see you next time.